Hello, friends, and welcome back to War 3. We reached the quarter point of the season already. Today we're taking on W-0-A, Warriors of something, Anubis maybe, I forget. Alright, we're going in today with Void and Namor and Symbiote Supreme. Let's get into it. So first up we have an Angela on Long Distance Relationship and Tyranny. Our opponents are running Dodge, and Angela is a small champion, so I'm really playing it safe here and basically just doing parry stuns and hitting her 3 times. And maybe about halfway through this fight, I realized that my second medium is actually occurring just as the timer on her stun is expiring. So I switched to just 2 hits and then backing off. Angela, this is a diversity play here, but if you let her get some Furies, she can hit pretty tough. And actually, now that I think about it as I'm recording, I don't know that she can get a Fury without any power. So either way, it doesn't matter. The objective of these first 2 fights in Section 1, actually the first 3 fights, is really to make it out of this section with full health. And the long-distance relationship node really goes a long way, in most matchups anyway, towards making that a reality. So we get Fear the Void up, it doesn't matter because she goes down. And we're moving on. Alright, so next up we have a Sentinel on Long Distance Relationship Special Lock 1. The buffet link is left up, thank you. Just double checking the nodes here. I don't really know why I was doing that. So again, the strategy here is to use the weakness debuffs, and also if I need to, the special lock 1, the power lock debuff, to keep myself topped off health wise. Other than that, just cycles power as usual. I'm not even going to worry about his analysis charges. I can safely push him to S2 if I want. Void is incinerate immune, so even if I take a hit, it's not going to do crazy damage, and I won't get incinerated too. So I've already got 2 petrifies up, plus some extra debuffs. So whenever I trigger buffet, I'm already reversing his healing. You'll see, I think, on this next S2 dodge here. So he takes a nice chunk of damage there from buffet. So when the matchup is there and favors it, I always prefer to have the buffet link up. So this is definitely one of those matchups. So finished with a yellow bar twice in a row. Moving on. So I sat waiting at the next node, the hidden node, for what seemed like a long time. And I think the one guy had gone to bed, the other guy was unavailable, and I was a little bit gun shy because I thought it might be an Annihilus again. But I saw the health pool when I popped it into Scouter Lens, and it said probably King Groot, so I said, okay, well, no problem. I made a mistake there. I tried to parry in heavy while he still had a Fury buff, so he ate the parry and came back in for wasn't a full combo, but a couple hits. So then I immediately realized what I had done and got the indestructible charges off with a second full heavy here. So other than that, I'm not trying to focus too much on, normally when you play King Groot with Void, you want to avoid giving him debuffs with your S1 while he has Furies up, because he'll just eat them and you will have wasted a bar of power. He's not duped on this node, and he has no external source of healing, so there's really no way for you to reverse his healing other than what he's getting from willpower. And I say that my point is that King Groot is probably the tankiest champion in the game. So I didn't really feel like I could afford to play perfect timing and try and get the debuffs to stick only when his Furies were on cooldown. So I'm still getting damage from the S1 even if the debuffs aren't sticking. So the objective was to get kind of Fear of the Void up as quickly as possible. If he ate some debuffs along the way, it wasn't a huge deal. So, alright, so we're more than halfway done with the fight. We've got the nice attack bonus up from Fear of the Void. We've got some extra debuffs sticking here, and this fight is all but over. And I've got yellow bar, so 3 fights in a row, and I think we're just going to back off here and let the degen kill him rather than risk taking a blocked hit. So, alrighty. So we're up in Tier 2. I didn't get any mini-boss action. in the middle section today. So going in with this another Kingpin on what is this? This is Recovery and Vigor. So we have another Havok on the next node, so we're going to use some medium boosts, and then I think I use a big health boost, just because I don't use them for any other content, so might as well use them here. So as is typical in a fight like this, I'm pretty much not going to worry about the Vigor node, because he's probably going to heal up to full once or twice. So I accidentally slipped my finger off of my screen and let go of my block, so that was totally on me. Lost about a quarter of my health there, but anyways, as I was saying, the Vigor node is probably going to heal him up a couple times to full, but that is the price that you must pay with Namor for trying to build up to his maximum damage with both Furies up. So we're already at the special 3, but we need to hold it because we're only at 19 and now 20 stacks of Outrage. So from here, we're just trying to cycle the S1, really not trying to bring him up too far over bar of power, because I want to be in a situation where when I activate my first S3, I can still, bait the heavy attack and then immediately go in with another combo so I can launch my second S3. So we're going in with the first S3 here, and I know I've had Namor for, oh man, how many months has it been? A couple months, 3 months? His special 3 animation just never gets old for me. It's just so satisfying to watch those little electric eels. So, all right, so our timing and patience has paid off. We get the second S3 off, and you see with the first Fury up, the second S3 just does so much damage. And this, Kingpins have a crap ton of health, so he's pretty much almost dead. I have to wait out that S2, or I'm sorry, S1, but it was just prolonging the inevitable. And Kingpin goes down. So, all right. So as reassuring as it is knowing that a fully boosted Void can tank 3, maybe 4 plasma detonations from Havok, it's really not a sustainable way to play. So I made a conscious effort to play better in this fight, or change up my strategy. So the strategy really is to play completely stun immune, because when Havok is baiting a heavy, he's going to dump 2 of his plasma charges. The other strategy here is that when he is over 1 bar of power, I'm doing 4 hit combos and then immediately holding block. And this is a strategy that you may or may not be aware of, where it mostly, maybe 95% of the time, will prevent the champion from throwing their special attack. So if you want to push a champion to their S2, in this case I absolutely do, because the S1 from Havok is just brutal in terms of what it does to you. So I am giving him some plasma charges from my energy attacks on my S1. However, you also notice that I am staying pretty topped off from the plasma debuffs that he's got on me. So now we've got maximum degen, we've got Fear of the Void up here. I do take a combo there and a detonation at the same time. But we're still in a far better spot than we were in the previous war, where I had to tank 3 of them over the course of the fight. And I also had to dodge an S1 in that fight too, which set me kind of in a hole early. So we're holding our S3 until the end here, rather than give him more charges and launch it. Call in Sentry for some backup. I accidentally paused the fight there because I was pretty happy with how this turned out. So. It's easy to lose a lot of health against Havok, especially with not an ideal matchup champion like Void. So only losing 26%, I was pretty satisfied with that. All right, next up we have everybody's favorite OP defender, Domino, on Buffet. So a reminder, our opponents are running dodge in this, so even when she is not lucky, she will still evade. And the node, which is that, what is it called? The best defense node will give her it's like a third of a bar of power or something like that. So I do pop on that invulnerability boost because I'm expecting to take one of those BS evade counter combos to the face. And the war was super close at this point. We really couldn't afford any deaths. And I, as usual, I wanted to try and do my part to ensure that I'm not responsible for any of them. So trying to wait out wait out the lucky as much as we can without getting backed up onto the left wall there. I get unlucky, so I'm just trying to wait out the special 2. Backed up against the wall, so I take a risk, go in with the combo despite her finishing off her lucky passive. Some of my debuffs are failing to stick, even though I'm not unlucky, which is unfortunate. But one of the reasons why Domino is so in my opinion really broken as a defender is that she takes simple core game mechanics and just completely breaks them, like dexing, and the debuffs aren't really one of them, but dexing is one. I think Lagsy had a similar problem with the Domino in his last war video where his dex just didn't work and he got one-shotted. So this Domino is being pretty cooperative as far as they go with firing her S2. Usually when I fight Dominoes, she's backing you up as close to the wall as she can before firing that S2 off. This time she's being pretty cooperative. I'm also being much more mindful of the evades. Not finishing my combo with a 5th hit, just kind of backing off, playing a bit conservatively. I know at this point it's probably in the bag, but you never really know for sure with Domino. So one more combo should do it. And there she goes. So I do want to point out here that it's ridiculous that I can take no hits and still lose over half my health. So, all right. So before we continue, I wanted to give a shout out to Ego, who complained in the line chat that I don't give him shout outs. So there you go, buddy. Enjoy. All right. Our last fight of the day. This was this morning when I took a walk at work to do this Korg fight. This is the Dismay node, so he's debuff immune and Dismay, so don't get hit, essentially, is the rule here. Debuff immune actually works in my favor, of course. It really doesn't either way, because Korg is bleed immune anyway, so I'll be proccing an outrage with every medium attack that I lay into him with. Other than that, Korg he used to be a lot more of a pain in the butt than he is now, and I think part of that is that Namor makes fights with Korg so easy. Him and Omega Red are really just the best Korg counters, I think. Maybe Havok too, but I think when Korg came out, it was just a nightmare fighting him. And if you fight him with somebody who can't avoid the Thorns damage, you're just gonna have a bad time. But I think I've got kind of a strategy down, and it's shown. I don't remember the last time I died to a Korg. I'll have to look that up maybe. I think it was. It might have been way back when I was in my previous alliance was the last time I died to a Korg. But all right, so we got our first S3 off. This is only a rank 4, so you notice before the fight I didn't boost. I was pretty confident that I would be able to do this. So we accidentally launch our S2 while he is unstoppable. Fortunately, there he holds block, and his unstoppable runs out after the 3rd hit there. So, and then he's got 2% health left. I mistime the S1, so the degen timer is ticking, but it doesn't matter because the fight is over. And so is my contribution to this war. So speaking of the war, it was really close right up into the end. We did take the L. I think we lost by only something like 200 points. So, a couple attack bonuses here and there were really the difference. It was super close right to the end. We were scrambling at the end of one of our battle groups to finish off the clear, but couldn't get those extra deaths off the board. So really good war. I'm happy overall with our performance. This war this season has been a great start despite the non-perfect record. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.